What's cracking, people? How we doing today? I want to welcome you to D's Daily DD, right? Stands for due diligence. And this is the channel where we do our homework, right? We do our research and we look at the most current information that we can find out there. I want to remind you, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, right? So take it with a grain of salt. Everything I say in this video, I'm merely here, right, to give you my opinions and my thoughts and my experience with what's happening in the market, and to give you recaps, right, and show you the information and what's going on, and like the macro picture, the micro picture, whatever it is that, you know, the way I see it, right? That's all I can do. I'm just a guy on YouTube, right? So thank you to all the subscribers. You know, I am very pleased with the growth of the channel since I started it. You know, I want to give a shout out to the people that I do have subscribed, right? Because it's all about you guys too, right? I do this for you guys. I show up here because I enjoy it, right? And currently I'm not even making money off this, right? I do it because I enjoy it, right? There is certain, you know, things that you have to hit on YouTube with views and subscribers and all that in order to start making money, right? So do you see any ads on my videos? No, like I'm just here, you know, doing my thing and putting this information out there the best that I can, right? And I'm trying to be as genuine as I can, right? I know it's a tough thing right now, like with the way the markets have been going, right? You know, we see a lot of stocks drop in value, especially the past 3 months, right? And it just seems like they're just going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. Nobody knows the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen exactly, right? But it will eventually turn around, guys, right? So I've learned that over the years that, you know, there's ups and downs in the market, but just depending on how you react, right, whether you panic or you're confident or you're just like, well, whatever, doesn't matter, I'm just gonna wait, that makes the difference, right, at the end. Okay, so I just wanted to say that, you know, before we get into the information. But today's video, I'm going to talk about AMC. I'm going to talk about this interview, right, with Jon Stewart that Gary Gensler and Jon Stewart did, and it was just a bloodbath for Gary Gensler, right? He got roasted. I feel like Jon Stewart asked some badass questions, some awesome questions that kind of put some pressure on him. And again, this goes back to the Apes, right? I see the passion, I see the excitement, I see the frustration, right? And of course I'm frustrated too with the price, because now that we've actually exposed and we have all these pieces to the puzzle, right, and we have information that we go off of, that compared to like when this all first started, right, like it was, yeah, people would talk on social media, but not to this level where we have an understanding of how the market works, right? So I'm going to show you that video. I think it's a badass video. And then I'm going to show you some stuff with Lucid, right? There's this guy on Reddit that like just put everything in a couple paragraphs that I think like he said it, you know, better than I could, right? So I'm just going to read that to you guys and show you what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So don't forget to like that video, comment on it, right? Especially to my subscribers, guys, if there's anything, any questions you guys have, right, or anything I can help you with, or, you know, if you have any tickers that you want to talk about, like, let me know, you know, hit it up. So let's do it. Desktop. All right, we're good. Let's jump into it. First thing we're gonna start off with is the AMC chart, guys, right? So I'm very, you know, optimistic. Obviously, I believe in the squeeze. I hold my shares, right, all that stuff. But I don't think we're in a bad position right now, really. You know, I know that, you know, because of all the manipulation, like in my opinion, right, the past few months, we have gotten chopped down, right? But according to the chart, guys, right, we got a solid triple bottom here. So 1, 2, and we bounced again, right, like perfectly, right? It doesn't, this is why I like TA, right? Because sometimes like it just is just so perfect, right? So it bounced and it went up and it was able to break out of this, right? And this is normal to where it comes back down. Right now, you know, we are still looking good for a run up, for a reversal, because we're using this, right? It was able to touch it and then it went back up. Now it was a red day, so we have to see if we can get a confirmation of a couple green days. And we're also waiting on the transparency, right, to see if that's really happening right now, right? We're waiting to see until like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week to see if they kicked in, to see if anything changes, right? It's that part is out of our hands, guys, right? That's on the SEC, the government, all that stuff, right? So we can only do what we can do, right? And that's buy and hold. And so I'm not really too worried about it. Like I do like where this is currently sitting. Okay. In my opinion, you know, the good news is that we broke out of this channel, which was holding us down for a long time. Okay. Like I said, the more we can move up here, and we need a solid break, solid volume, right? Another thing is like 24 million volume. That's not going to do anything. That's why you see a flat, you know, day right now. Okay. So this section right here to me is just it's looking like a bullish setup. Okay, that's in my opinion, right? We just need volume, guys, a catalyst, right? But it's interesting how with like most companies, when good earnings come out, right, they run and they go higher. AMC doesn't matter if it's good or bad news, it it usually goes down, right? Even with amazing good news, right? Cool. So we're just going to take a look at the SPY here because this moves the market. And again, it's just looking pretty weak, right? I mean, you break down in the morning, had a little bit of recovery, didn't quite make it, got rejected here. And what did it do? It went down and lost VWAP. It lost all support, right? It just started coming down. So that's a piece of the puzzle, right? That we got to take into consideration now with the market. I'm going to touch on the options chain here for AMC. Obviously the price point is $20, right? Like it's been the past few weeks. That's the line that, like, if we were able to break that, guys, we would be able to get some momentum going to the upside, right? Because of the amount of time that they've been suppressing that price zone, right? As you can see, there's 19,000 calls for this Friday that are open there. And then here again, like, if we would be able to break hard, right? There would be nothing by, like, well, tomorrow's Friday, so one more trading day, but there would be nothing really to stop us on the put side, right? I mean, it's pretty low volume and open interest there. All right, so I just want to point that out. We'll take a look at this right here. So we got 17,000, which is nothing really, right? That's very low volume. But you know what's interesting, like it's like the 13th, 14th day that Ortix says AMC is at 100% utilization, and we still have 1.4 million shares popping up. Yesterday it was down to like 500,000, 600,000, right? So just know that the price, the day-to-day price, guys, does not matter. The shorts haven't covered. You know, there is attention now back on AMC as far as like the media, as far as like the apes, they're hyped, right? So that's the good news. And then keep in mind that they're shorting 63% of the volume is shorted every day, right? Today, 24 million, you know, we're going to make a guess like 62, 61% of the total volume today was shorted, right? And then the days that they like this day, I remember we went up, we had a green day. Why? Because there was only 47% shorting there, right? So always keep that in mind. This coming week, of course, I'm gonna keep an eye on the Federal Register, see if anything hits there. And then let's just go over and talk about Lucid here before, you know, we get into the Jon Stewart thing. It's been, you know, losing a lot of support, right? We're just gonna look at the chart real quick. Current price 2263, down 7%, right? That's a pretty heavy down day for Lucid, right? And it's been kind of doing that. And me and my buddies, right, a couple of days ago, we're like, man, we should just buy puts on this, right? And we called it. Look, I was saying we should buy $22 puts. I mean, that would have been some good profit there, right? If we would have got them at 25. But yeah, just constant, you know, when no news was going on, and then we had a little rally and then it came back down. But this was just a fake pump and dump, right? So that's the daily chart. The reason it's finding support here is because of the past, right? Right here. This is a block that I had, right? These are the supply and demand zones. So that's why you can see some sort of support here, right? And who knows, guys, it could come back the way it's been trading, right? It might come back down here to 19, 18. Not telling you to go buy calls or shares or nothing. You do what you do with your money. But just looking at the chart, I mean, it's in a downtrend, right? I can't tell you where the bottom is, right? We just have to wait and see. I mean, but from my charting here, I can see that there's more support here at 19. All right, so if it were to go down more, it's going to go down to 19, like 18, right? Now, if it was to form a reversal and it started to make its way back up, the next zone would be 27, right? So there's the range. If you're bullish, if you're bearish, that's kind of like where I see this thing going. Okay. But remember, there's bigger issues that we have to talk about on the overall market, right? Like not just one stock, two stocks, your stock, my stock, whatever. There's a lot we have to take into consideration. So let me just go over this paragraph. This guy literally, right? Shout out to, what's this guy's name? No Till 3963. Here we go. I'm reading and watching so many views over the last couple of days of Lucid. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in here. Not financial advice, just my views as Lucid investor with a 5-year time frame, right? That's what I've been saying, right? That I'm just trying to accumulate shares for the next few years, okay? Lucid missed its production targets, had a recall, a poor RI, a greater loss per share than forecast, and reduced its 2022 production targets. Pretty awful for a short-term trader, right? I wouldn't touch it if I was looking for a 30 to 60 day return on my money. Okay, this is gonna take a while, guys. This is what more traditional investing is, right? When you want to get in early. However, if you're a longer term holder as I am, then I like to point out a couple of things. Firstly, building the most sophisticated EV in the world is a daunting task to all. The fact that they produced hundreds of cars in the same quarter that they wanted to in itself is a small miracle. Building and running this type of auto factory from scratch with new and better tech than anyone else. Wow, not to be underestimated, the recall issue was minor. Oh, how bad might it have been, right? Could have been worse. A testament to Lucid's capable and hardworking team. Okay, I do believe in the team. That's like where the foundation starts, right? So there's going to be further problems, right? Missed targets, more technical and production challenges, etc. But these guys are setting a new standard. They're going to start with the high-level cars, take the luxury slot in the US market and elsewhere, and then build down to more affordable versions. There will be bumps, but they will get there. When they do, and as they do, shareholders at $25 per share and going to look into absolute market gurus, right? Yeah, if you're paying 25 now and it's in the hundreds in a few years, guys, right? Hopefully that's the outlook. It's my personal outlook. Can we guarantee this? Of course not. But if stock market investing could be guaranteed, hey, we'd all be millionaires. So in conclusion, for the naysayers, I say maybe to the short-term investors, don't blame you for your doubts. I certainly would not be playing Lucid for a 3 to 6 month return. For the long-term vision, folks like myself, I think this is going to be an incredible 5-year ride. I'm happy to be in and buying when I can. Good luck, all. That's the same message, I'm trying to put out there, guys. I mean, that's why I'm just using his words, but I agree 100% with everything he's saying. Okay, now let's jump into this video. It's gonna be like a 5-minute. I'm not really gonna talk through it. I'll talk a little bit after it, just so you guys could hear it. It's pretty good, guys.
Is the SEC the best system to do this?
I think the American public kind of gets it, that the system is not fully working for them. That's right.
Oh, yes. I believe that's true.
All right.
The Apes exposed something really interesting.
The Apes
Crowdsourced a way of rooting out corruption. They found things in the system that didn't seem right. Like the information that they were getting was 2 weeks old, that they weren't being told that these 140% shorts totaled that 140%. They knew there was a short, but they didn't get that information until later, and they didn't get the information to the extent of it. And doesn't that show that disclosure and transparency are not functioning to the protection of investors?
I'm not saying this is without its challenges. There are real challenges. There are real challenges. Complexity helps them.
Give me a better system. Give me a better system to do this than the one we have in place. Because the one we have in place is getting its butt kicked.
I believe in this system. I believe in our American democracy. You're not going to get me to say.
I'm not saying give me a different system.
Listen.
Purely based on the financial system we have in the stock market. Is there a better system than the SEC? Is there something in this crowdsourcing that the Apes brought to bear that can be useful? Can there be a partnership between the SEC and a more crowdsourced?
John, I live within the system I'm in.
Dream, man, dream.
I'll dream, but I also want to get things done.
Okay.
I want to get things done on behalf of the investing public.
Have you thought about, outside of the bureaucracy, is there something that could help you be more agile?
So I would say, and a compliment goes to Senator Grassley from Iowa. Senator Grassley fought hard on a decentralization point you're talking about. It's called the whistleblower law. So in the aftermath of the '08 crisis and that big reform law, Dodd-Frank, Senator Grassley fought hard that this agency and some other agencies stood up and put in place a whistleblower program. And over the 10 or so years that this has stood up, we've given awards. That's a crowdsourcing, decentralized.
What do we need to do? And is the SEC not enough? If you look at the past 10 years, right, or the past 20 years, the SEC very rarely we'll send something and recommend it to the DOJ for prosecution. That 2008 financial crisis.
That's not true. I mean, we bring about 700 750 enforcement cases a year, and I can get to the exact figures, but a whole chunk of those are also joint criminal investigations.
Right. You know, with all the financial shenanigans that have gone over the years, the only person we've really brought to heel is Martha Stewart. And that's got to tell you something about just how tilted this thing is.
We've gotten a little bit about Bernie Madoff, but.
Well, speaking of Bernie Madoff, who came up with payment for order flow?
Yeah, right. No, I understand, but he did serve his time in jail.
One guy,
One guy.
and one woman. Generally, it seems like people don't go to jail for financial crimes; they pay fines. I think that's a fair statement.
That's fair. But
Generally,
the Department of Justice has the criminal authorities.
Understood.
We have the civil.
That's right. And on the civil side, more than 50% of the fines levied from SEC judgments are not collected. There are less financial judgments that are levied now than there were 15 years ago. It doesn't seem like the SEC has the ability to keep up. Is there anything that you would think could bring more teeth to the SEC in terms of accountability that would be more of a stick?
I think what we can do is bring important cases that are sort of high profile cases that show people, no, you're over the line. It could be accounting fraud. It could be insider trading.
But is there something that would be more of a deterrent?
More of a deterrent is bars where individual accountability. There's nothing like individual accountability to send a deterrent across the whole market if somebody's held accountable. We only have civil law enforcement, but that means barring them from the industry or trading or appearing before us. Willing to litigate. This agency has to be willing to go into court and, take some losses from time to time, but go into court.
Right.
I think all of those things, but it's trying to use high profile cases to bring folks back on the right side of the line. And also, I would say, a focus on gatekeepers, the accountants, the lawyers, the underwriters, and so forth. That sends a signal across the market, too.
Take out the little guys.
No. The gatekeepers, John.
Coming back in a year, we're going to see how this all worked out.
Give it a little bit more time.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hold
I
them
got it.
accountable.
It'll
Wait
be
and
a
see.
whole different financial market.
A year.
Really appreciate it. Fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I just want to point out that video because I think there's a lot of crucial information on there. A lot of good things. A lot of pressure put on from Jon Stewart on Gary Gensler, right? Which is what we want to see. Now let's just watch this one real quick as well.
And here's the kicker. This payment for order flow situation and GameStop are the part of the American stock market that is the most transparent, well-regulated, and straightforward part of our entire market system. There's a whole other back room of derivatives and swaps.
Now I'm gonna just pause it here because this is what I want to point out. This is what we're up against, right? This is what the apes have been talking about. It doesn't matter what stock you're in, guys. Like, the market makers are the ones that are running all the stocks, right? And there's all these different ways. Like, look at these, futures, convertible bonds, all these stuff that they can do as well, right? So to hide like things that we're talking about, like the short interest on AMC, the true short interest, right? That they're hiding it this way, that way, doing this, right? They're constantly, manipulating it in their favor, right? Until something changes, this is what we're up against, okay? And that's why we got to keep making noise, right? That's the whole point. And we will get our squeeze, right? There's more pieces and more pieces of the puzzle that are just coming out, and we almost have the complete puzzle, right? In my opinion, guys. Okay, so yeah, that's all I got for today. One more thing. I forgot. I'm gonna read this tweet, okay? Because this is the vibes here, okay? Forget the arguing over the math, guys. We knew a year ago buying and holding was the way. We knew that we own the flow. We know we know there's synthetics, and we know they're going to have to pay us. We've won. Just a matter of time. I'm enjoying the time to buy more. Yeah, cool. So ending on a positive note, guys, because the market was pretty bad today, right? Still going down. So yeah, if I can bring you this value at least with this important information, and give you a little more conviction in what we're doing here as far as investors and apes and what we're doing in the market. Okay, guys. So hang in there. I'm hanging in there with y'all. We got this. And until the squeeze, guys, right? We're gonna be here, and we're gonna keep making noise. All right. So have a great day. Later.